For now.
Meanwhile, ahead of the Anambra 2021 governorship election, some of the party's stakeholders in the diaspora are calling for the need to give ears to President Buhari's call for them to contribute to the development of the country.
People who need to be in politics need to stop thinking about themselves and think about the community. And if you look at community, then you won't be causing factions. So my question is, I think PDP of today is being more united.
They enjoined Nigerians to embrace dialogue as the only option to dispute resolution. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Now let's bring you other news of the day. Plans to ensure that the 9 member countries of the Niger Basin region are committed to making available financial resources towards sustaining livelihoods of inhabitants of the basin is among resolutions as the 39th ordinary session of the Council of Ministers Niger Basin Authority ends in Abuja. Olushe Adebo reports.
These 9 countries, which have some of their territories on the Niger Basin, are member states of the Niger Basin Authority (NBA), is with a population of about 130 million people. The basin is, however, faced with multifaceted challenges which threatens our development. Finding how to address these challenges and implementing development projects as well as programs to improve the living condition of the Niger Basin people. This formed the crux of discourse as technical experts of the NBA across member countries met in Nigeria for 4 days with an issuing of a communique.
The construction of the NBA headquarters.
Nigeria's Ministry of Water Resources is the NBA supervising ministry, and Chairman of the Council, Suleiman Adamu, reiterates commitment to ensure integrated development of resources and an improved Niger Basin Authority.
The NBA needs total reform, and I intend to ensure that the institutional audit is concluded before the 12th summit in order to reposition the NBA for improved service delivery.
Ouagadougou, capital city of Burkina Faso, is already penned by member countries as host of the 40th Ordinary Session NBA Council of Ministers. In Abuja, Oluseye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Nigeria, like other countries, is coming up with more creative and realistic measures to cope with and even overcome the economic crisis occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic. The Minister of Finance, Zainab Shamshuna Ahmed, at the public hearing on the Finance Bill 2020 says amendment to tax laws is one among several mechanisms of ensuring efficiency in the management of financial resources for optimal benefits. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Feelers as the National Assembly have it that the 2021 budget will expectedly be passed a couple of days from now. The significance of this exercise of collating stakeholder opinion on the Finance Bill 2020, a legislation drafted to support the implementation of the budget, cannot be overemphasized for the executive and legislative arms of government.
The Finance Bill, which we have gathered here to consider and to contribute to, will determine, amongst other things, our ability as a nation to fund the 2021 budget, meet the obligations of government, and implement policies to build infrastructure, address the problem of insecurity.
Ensure that there is a balance between broader macroeconomic strategies to attract investments, to grow the economy, to create jobs, as well as the immediate fiscal strategies that are needed to accelerate domestic revenue mobilization.
The Finance Bill seeks key reforms to specific taxation, customs, excise, fiscal and other revenue-related activities to support the recovery of the nation's economy from the impact of COVID-19. At another level, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on COVID-19 went on oversight to engage the Presidential Task Force as the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Was there a central coordinating mechanism for the COVID-19 expenditure? I know the activities were centralized and coordinated. What about the expenditure?
The federal government, through the Accountant General and the Central Bank, they opened an account in the Central Bank, and the Accountant General opened 5 receiving accounts in commercial banks, into which monies
were paid by the donors.
We have also supported the state through the World Bank project with about 100 million naira each, in order for them to do the work that they need to do themselves.
The meeting enabled post-mortem of measures adopted to tackle the pandemic. It's a further charter way forward as the second wave of the health crisis lasts. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has called on African writers to sustain telling the African story in the best African tradition format. The minister made the call when he granted audience to the Secretary General of the Pan-African Writers Association, Dr. Wale Okediran, in Abuja. Anthony Fossen completes the report.
Grabbing African writers as historians who are beacons of their roots, Lai Mohammed said they draw a lot of attention to the many challenges that exist after colonization. Therefore, the younger generation must be encouraged to be in the vanguard through modern-day technology.
Revive that golden age of African writers. That age where African writers actually fell in the pre-decolonization area, where they were as effective, where they collaborated also with our politicians.
Lai Mohammed, while congratulating Dr. Okediro over his appointment, said power as an umbrella body of writers on the continent and in the diaspora, whose mission is to strengthen the cultural bonds between Africans, given their diverse and rich cultural, political and economic heritage, the association must brace up to curtail Western influence and cross-cultural encroachment.
How do we instill in our young ones pride in their culture, pride in their tradition? How do we harness, how do we use technology to promote our rich traditions and culture?
On his part, Dr. Wale Okediran, who said literature is the testimony of a people's creativity as well as unifying factor and cultural identity, appealed to the minister to facilitate a constant interface between the association and the federal government, specifying that power is mandated by the AU to be supported by all African countries.
The association has grown in bounds and leaps to the extent that it has now been given a diplomatic status in Ghana and by extension in many African countries.
As a community of writers with a Pan-African vision, the Secretary General said the association is ready to partner with government in its onerous task of nation building and creative arts as well as cultural renaissance in Nigeria and on the continent. In Abuja, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. Let's pause for some messages. We'll be back in a bit.
May all your dreams come true this Christmas.
Dear Nigerians, from the 7th to 11th of December 2020, the federal government will be implementing measles second dose of 15 months as part of the routine immunization schedule across the 19 northern states and the FCT. The measles second dose has already been introduced by the government in the 17 southern states since November 2019. Apart from the usual first dose of measles at 9 months old, all eligible children 15 months old would be required to take the second dose of measles vaccine. Measles has infected and killed many. As parents, we must forsake all doubts and visit the nearest health facility or vaccination post to ensure our children are vaccinated. I want to assure you that vaccines given to our children are safe, potent, and effective. Signed, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Mama, me now want send money. Make me not collect for school. Oh, be now won't withdraw from your card, but you don't carry a card. Hey, written them go use. Momo, then go use. Momo agents, then go use you. Sissy Ronke won't pay light bill. Plus Richard Go TV. Nishi for no go Miss Telemundo. Tamu now say she won't buy data for phone. Written them go use. Momo, then go use. Momo agents, then go use you.
Now, with your Momo agent, you fit send and receive money, plus to withdraw money for your bank account without card or data. You fit also buy airtime and data or pay any kind bill where you want. Just dial *223# to see the Momo agent when near you. Momo agent. Safe, fast, no wahala.
Mommy is back!
Guess what's inside?
Chocolate. Biscuit.
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
Cavity? What cavity?
Let me show you.
Most toothaches are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity.
It also has natural mint for minty fresh breath every day.
Mom, can I eat chocolates now?
As long as you brush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
We congratulate you for progress on your journey. Now, Nigeria's #1 choice of mothers have Molfix Air Dry. Thanks to its ultra absorbency and breathability, Molfix has the dryness all the mothers dream of. So the babies will not experience any rash. Babies are always comfortable. Mothers are too, because they don't need to worry about ventilation. Thanks to Molfix Air Dry. Now babies and mothers enjoy the ultimate peace. Come and join the mothers who experience Molfix Air Dry.
It is time for celebration. 30 years bustling with goodness. No challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Mountain Guinness, but still with so much greatness. Mountain Guinness, enjoy our world of
small beginnings, only stepping stones to bigger things. That's our philosophy at Premium Pension. And so no matter the size of your money, our team of expert fund managers invested wisely and actively to make sure your money is always working as hard as you do. After all, the things we're building today can help shape your future in the long run. And with the right partner by your side, the one thing you're sure to do is soar. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Newcastle United had their game called off last week. Will they be able to bounce back with a win when they welcome West Bromwich Albion to St James's Park? Find out this Saturday when Newcastle United hosts West Bromwich Albion on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Papa Ijebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. 60 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence has ended, with the Minister of Women Affairs calling on Nigerian men to be more accommodating of the women folk to fast-track the nation's development. Now, the Minister was speaking at a rally tagged "Walk in Her Shoes," and this is to further draw attention to the scourge of gender-based violence. Victor Azu reports.
It's been 16 days of activism across the globe against gender-based violence, and the Nigerian civil society has been relentless in replicating their advocacy. This rally, organized by the Proactive Gender Initiatives in conjunction with the Nigeria Union of Journalists FCT chapter, with the theme "Walk in Her Shoes," is to round off the campaign. For the council chairman, words are not enough. He literally walks in her shoes to drive home the point.
The road may be long, the task may be demanding, but be assured that you have people cheering you on.
Come and walk in our shoes. We wear high heels, we pound yam, we conceive babies. We make the home beautiful.
The Minister of Women Affairs wants the 16-day campaign to birth a new thinking devoid of every form of violence.
Now the last day of 16 days activity, which you have all been part of it. I appreciate you all.
The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an annual international campaign that kicks off on 25th of November, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and runs until 10th of December, which is the Human Rights Day. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Hilarious. Believe me, it's not easy to walk in a woman's shoes. Now, moving on, 2 Jigawa State High Courts have sentenced 1 rapist to life imprisonment and 3 other rapists to 21 years each for raping minors in the state. Abdullahi Garba bin Nkudu reports that the convictions were secured by the State Ministry of Justice.
The first case at Hadejia High Court involving 38-year-old Abdullahi Adamu of Tandamu village in Kirika Sama local government area was presided over by Justice Ado Yusuf. Defendant was accused of raping a minor, which he pleaded not guilty. 5 witnesses testified against him, while he presented 1 witness. He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. At the Jigawa State High Court, Borno Kudu, Justice Musa Obale also sentenced 3 persons accused of rape and indecency against some minors. Each of them was sentenced to 21 years imprisonment. Gender-based promoters and civil society activists described the judgments as a great feat in the fight against rape and rapists in the state and the nation.
We are always happy to see that perpetrators are punished, because that's when victims can be assured that the system was there and it fought for them and it tried to redress the injustice that was done to them.
Records from the Jigawa State Ministry of Justice confirmed that there are over 200 rape cases before the state high courts. From Duse, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
And application by council to the Lekki Concession Company for take-back of the Lekki Toll Plaza for damage assessments and insurance claims was not granted by the Lagos State Panel of Inquiry on Restitution for Victims of SARS and related matters. Jennifer Igwe reports that the case and 5 others were adjourned for further hearing.
Of Emmanuel Ajoma Fuwe versus the Nigerian police, the petitioner, who had no lawyer, was cross-examined by the counsel to the respondent. He was asked why he didn't contact the commissioner for police when he didn't hear from them. The petitioner replied that he just recovered from treatments arising from gunshots to his head by the police. After reminding the respondent that the case has been on since November 28 and how series of requests for adjournment by the police was slowing down the panel's proceedings, Justice Okuobi adjourned the case to 21st December 2020. Further hearing in the Lekki Concession Company presentation was a long one, as counsels to the NSAS victims took time to cross-examine the managing director of the LCC. Counsel to the LCC revisited his application for the toll plaza to be returned to the company for assessment of damages and insurance claims. This was opposed by counsel to the NSAS. Justice Doris Okuwobi, retired, did not grant the request and gave another 2 weeks for more investigations. The matter was adjourned to the 5th of January 2021. The application by the counsel to the LCC for the managing director of the Lekki Concession Company to be discharged from the summon was granted by the chairman of the panel. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
Thank you, Jennifer. First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has assured Nigerian women of her continued support through the Future Assured program towards improving their living condition for the betterment of the society. The First Lady said this in a message during the distribution of food items to women and youth groups in Adamawa State. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir tells us more.
About 30 different groups of women and youth from across Adamawa State have benefited from the usual gesture of the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. This time, varieties of food items and some cash have been distributed to the groups of beneficiaries, including orphanage, widows, persons with disability and those under rehabilitation in the prison, and other groups and associations who are in dire need of the assistance.
The First Lady has been doing this for quite some time, and this is her state, and she's reaching out to the people, to the most vulnerable groups, and it's her passion to help the less privileged, to also help particularly women, children, and youth. So we are distributing food to more than 30 groups.
Her Excellency, the First Lady of Nigeria, doing this, is wisdom given to her by God Himself.
May Allah give her the strength to continue lifting the hope of the needy and the less privileged people.
The First Lady has urged well-meaning Nigerians to support the needy and other vulnerable groups in order to make life better for all in the society. In Eola, Adamawa State Capital, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Family planning is critical to the nation's attainment of demographic dividends as it accelerates economic growth, social change and sustainable development. This was the view of speakers at the 6th National Planning Conference in Abuja. Basi Ita Ekpan reports that the 6th Family Planning Conference has virtual presence in line with strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols.
Planning is one of the most cost-effective ways of preventing maternal, infant, and child mortality, with the estimation that meeting women's need for birth control would prevent about 1/4 to 1/3 of all maternal deaths.
Investment in family planning saves lives, empowers women and girls, strengthens health systems, and has a profound and lasting impact on national development.
This is an issue that concerns more of women because we are in the center stage of family planning.
The population of Nigeria is fueled by high fertility rates, as many Nigerian women of reproductive age still do not have access to contraception for healthy timing and spacing of pregnancies.
We have successfully also advocated to government to put money down as counterpart support for FP commodities purchase, increasing the total support to $4 million and to make services free in public sites in the country.
This year's conference, which is the 6th in the series, experts say, presents unique opportunity to chart a new course for the health sector due to the COVID-19, which affected the health system throughout the world, disrupting access to family planning information and services. Basi Taikbang, NTA News.
Health professionals rely on patients' history to manage their conditions. Hence, accurate data and health records cannot be compromised for national planning and growth. This formed the crux of discussions when the Minister of Health for State, Olarunibe Mamora, visited the Health Records of Officers Registration Board of Nigeria in Abuja. Olishe Adegbo has the details.
It's described data collection and processing in Nigeria's primary health care level as relatively effective, but not so when it comes to the tertiary and secondary levels of health care delivery. Health Records Officers Registration Board of Nigeria trains and regulates the country's health information management professionals, who in turn manage patients' health service records and hospital information systems in health facilities nationwide. As the board plays host to the Minister of State for Health, a conducive workspace and computerized operations are tabled as urgent needs.
The issue of accommodation is one of the things that we need to look at, and so far I've been impressed with what I've seen on ground, and I know that given all the support and the wherewithal, they will do better than what they are doing right now.
And these data were there. The most important thing is to have a coordinating point, like a data bank, that these people will be effectively utilized. Once we are utilized, we'll be able to collect this data.
The minister charged the health data collectors to consider data integrity as sacrosanct for health care delivery. In Abuja, Oluseye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Some Nigerian pensioners have resorted to seeking the face of God for timely payment of their pension and gratuity. The senior citizens decided on this after various calls on relevant bodies to meet their needs failed. Now they're expectant of a miracle that will make them smile before the end of the year. Emmanuel Anyimiro reports.
Going by Section 173, Subsection 3, and Section 210, Subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution, pension shall be reviewed every 5 years or whenever workers' wages are reviewed, whichever comes earlier. Until now, members of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners say they are still waiting for government, particularly at the state level, to implement this provision.
As far as the state governments are concerned, that is, state governments still remain nonchalant, very indifferent.
Concerning recent plan to borrow about 17 trillion naira from contributory pension fund for certain projects, the senior citizens say safety of the fund is what is paramount in the constitution.
Many of these state governments have not keyed into the contributory pension. We don't want a situation when these people retire, then we say there's no money to pay them.
Although the theme for the 2020 National Pension Day is making life better and worth living for pensioners, retirees noted that what would make their life better is the payment of pension and gratuity as at when due. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Now, for more reports on Network News tonight, let's join Adiola in Lagos. Hello, Adiola. It's good to see you.
Hello, Jumai. Good to see you too. The persistent gridlock at the Apapa Trade Corridor will soon become history as maritime regulators are embracing technology to solve inherent challenges. And as a starting point, shipping companies and terminal operators must adopt electronic call-up system latest by first quarter of 2021. Amaka Owo reports.
The roads along the Tinkan-Apapa corridor have received government's attention. However, truck and tanker drivers are taking advantage of the portions yet to be constructed to compound the gridlock usually experienced in the axis. These are some of the 2,000 Lagosians who boycott long hours caused by congestion along Apapa axis on daily basis.
I don't use the road as often as I used to in the past.
If this is not created, you can see the rate of congestion this will have even caused to the road networks.
Shipping companies are not exempted from the pathetic experiences along the road.
Some days we've only been able to get 20 containers out the gate. The problem here is the road. If you solve the problem of the road, the ports will sort themselves out.
The regulatory agencies continue to stress the need to digitize ports operations as a way of reducing congestion and promoting efficiency.
We have seen a shipping company that was 19% 3 months ago, but because of our insistence, it's now almost 100%. We are pushing the port operators. We are pushing even the government agencies. We are pushing customs, okay, because it takes two to tango. The banks must be also part of this. So the whole ecosystem of the port must be automated so that we have a digital port, we have a contactless port.
If adequately effected, the use of electronic call-up system will facilitate trade and cargo evacuation along the corridor. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
And now to empowering indigenous innovators. 5 startups that showcased indigenous innovative solutions capable of solving existing challenges in the oil and gas sectors have received the sum of $10,000 from the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. Dotun Oguyemi reports that the monetary support is in addition to other opportunities provided by the board to make them successful entrepreneurs.
What's happening around your pipeline?
Meet the 5 startup finalists at the NOCTEC 2020. They are Air-Sync Fuel Intelligence, Gredic Home Fort Energy, and Kia Gas. These startups were selected by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. Out of over 600 entries received, they use artificial intelligence, big data analytics in providing solutions to pipeline vandalism, where the nation loses about $15 million annually, and provide cooking gas at affordable rate of 400 naira.
Over 93,000 Nigerians die annually from dirty fall, especially firewood. Why not just allow Nigerians also micro-retail cooking gas where from a mobile phone?
Panelists and stakeholders provide insights.
A lot of wealth, products, and also talents have been created out of innovation.
In virtually every form of energy, we have it in this country. All we need is to harness it, coordinate it, and begin to unleash it on our energy mix.
For the Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board, it will provide end-to-end support to the local content providers from prototype level to commercialization.
The NOCTEC Hackathon is one of the strategic initiatives of the board's 10-year strategic roadmap to promote development, innovation, in-country solutions in the oil and gas industry. The 10-year strategic roadmap is anchored on 5 strategic pillars and 4 enablers, each of which addresses key focus areas for development of Nigerian content.
Established in 2010, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board has the mandate to review, assess, and provide Nigeria content in the oil and gas industry. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
And we're done from here. Another break beckons. The network news will continue thereafter.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas, Nigeria. Dial *777#. Glow.
There is one that has class. And the I pass my neighbor. joy killer. There is the right gadget for every moment. Redmi Note 9 Pro. Upgrade your life. Powered by Xiaomi.
From every angle, from every view, forever my baby, I'll always have my eyes on you. From north to south, from the east to the west, you drive my heart, I always have my eyes on you. And yes, it's true, you remind me of a lovely picture, it's true, I can't deny. I've got my eyes on if you truly love it, get the Leadway Auto Insurance now. I've got my eyes on you. Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
Get all the nutrients that we need from plants.
Are you ready for this?
Let me hear you, AJ. Give me some bass. That good for you? Nice, AJ. Bring it up. Double it.
I was born hungry for success. It's the Nigerian way. Glow gets it. Champions stay hungry. Oh yeah. Glow gets it big time. One more for sure. Champions go the distance and then go further. Glow, the heart of a champion.
Newcastle United had their game called off last week. Will they be able to bounce back with a win when they welcome West Bromwich Albion to St James's Park? Find out this Saturday when Newcastle United hosts West Bromwich Albion on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Papa Ijebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
You're welcome back. It's now time to head to Port Harcourt, where Debabri is standing by with more reports on Network News tonight.
Thank you, Jumai, and welcome to Port Harcourt. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has advocated investment in efficient transport infrastructure as a panacea to driving the nation's socio-economic development. The governor made this submission at the 26th meeting of the National Council on Works in Port Harcourt. Ogedi Yekwiri completes the report.
The need for the nation to continue to develop its road infrastructure to promote trade and facilitate the movement of goods and services for the spread of economic opportunities across the country was stressed. Governor Wike says with the current road network of the country put at 31,000 kilometers, yet inadequate to drive economic growth at the rate the nation deserves, more needs to be done.
The federal government to include the East-West Road among the critical infrastructure projects being funded from the coffers of the nation's sovereign wealth fund to guarantee its completion by 2021 has been counted by the Minister of the Niger Delta.
Working with the various state governors, we were able to resume work in 26 states in May. And this was the way to start redistributing wealth again, because that's what infrastructure really does. And FEMA, our maintenance agency, was also able to resume work in 92 different locations in 24 states. These were strategic responses to get the economy back on track.
Chairman Senate Committee on Work, Senator Adamu Alero, described the theme of the meeting as apt and appreciated the federal government for its commitment to improving road infrastructure across the country. Director General, Budget Office of the Federation, Ben Akabeze, says 30% of the annual Federation budget goes to road infrastructure, but still not enough. He maintained that good road network increases agricultural productivity, strengthens local economy, promotes safe commuting, and reduction in road crashes and attendant fatalities. In Port Harcourt, Oge Dinyekwere, NTA News.
The two-day Federal Road Safety Corps National Driving School Proprietors and Instructors Training has opened in Port Harcourt with a call on the instructors of driving schools to appreciate the responsibility they owe to the society. This is just as they were tasked to discharge their duties in line with set standards while upholding the ethics of the profession. The report. There is a general notion that drivers occupy a very important place in any effort targeted at the reduction of road crashes. It is against this backdrop that the Federal Road Safety Corps organized the 2020 National Driving School Instructors Training. This is geared towards improving drivers' education and, in turn, help in the reduction of road traffic crashes in Nigeria.
It is very important to the state as a whole. It is very important to the nation. And so it's a program that I will enjoy every driving school owners and every instructor to take very seriously.
FRSC has to also train the proprietors and drivers so that they will acquire the necessary knowledge, the necessary skills that will prepare them to give the required training expected of a driver in this country.
The idea for introducing that one is to have a kind of standard driver's license for anybody that has processed it. And how to do that in the best global practice is to allow citizens to come and register with their own resources. We only form a policy and the guideline.
Participants were drawn from the south-south region of the country.
Definitely it has helped because the main aim of this training find ways of reducing accidents, deaths on our roads.
It is expected that the operational standards in the driving school would improve greatly at the end of the program. The theme of the workshop is Drivers, Education and Training Dynamics, aligning with global best practices. And that does it from Port Harcourt. Network News will continue right after the break. Good evening.
With pains in our heart, but gratitude to God Almighty, we announce the passing unto glory of Professor Anthony Rayford Duna of the Harvard Medical School, Cambridge, USA. He was aged 53. Burial arrangements. Body arrives Nigeria on Sunday 13th December 2020 and will be flown to Yola on same day. Wake keep at his family residence on Sunday 13th December 2020 at 4 p.m. Funeral service at LCCN number 1 Hong on 14th December 2020 at 10 a.m. Interment follows at Christian Cemetery in Pella. Late Professor Duna is survived by a wife, Dr. Grace, a daughter, Amanda, an aged mother, brothers, sisters, and relatives. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Announcer Tashikauma Hala for the family.
Across the bridge, there's no more sorrow. There's no more sorrow.
5 years of missing you.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
In evergreen memory of our most beloved mother, grandmother, aunt, and sister, late Mrs. Joyce Biobelemoye Monia Ni Yonis, who passed on to the great beyond on the 11th of December 2015 in Abuja after a brief illness. She was aged 83. Our beautiful mama, we miss you every day since you slept in the Lord. But we are forever consoled by the exemplary life you led and our confidence that you are resting peacefully in the bosom of our Creator. Engineer Simbi Kesie Wabote, Executive Secretary, NCDMB, son, on behalf of the entire family, announcer. You're welcome back. Nigerian-born British boxer Anthony Joshua set for world heavyweight title fight. These and other stories on Sports Update.
Many thanks for joining.